England have done it again. We have successfully defended our European Championship crown. Unbelievable stuff. Fantastic. We've finally done it. We've overcome Spain after the men lost in the European final last year, after the women lost in the World Cup final 2 years ago. The Three Lions have their revenge. We are women's European champions once again. Sarina Wiegman, 3 times in a row, she has won the European Women's Championships. Incredible stuff from her again. 5 finals in a row, 5 major finals in a row for the Dutch lady on that one. Unbelievable stuff. What an incredible side we've got as well. Just fantastic depth, unbelievable perseverance. England once again going behind, just like we did against Sweden, just like we did against Italy. We did the same thing this time around. However, just like in those 2 games, we came back. They did not give up. Never ever count the Lionesses out. Unbelievable stuff. Fantastic from them to do it once again. I'm so happy. I'm so happy we got revenge on Spain. I'm sick of Spain. I'm sick of facing Spain. Whether it's the women, whether it's the men, England and Spain just seem to face each other all the time in finals recently. So fair play to them. It was an absolutely brilliant game as well. Really, really did enjoy this one. A great advertisement for women's football, if I don't say so myself. Like I said, England did not have it all their own way. In the early stages, England were pretty dominant in this one. Russo had a shot that was saved. James couldn't quite put in the rebound from that. Hemp, she seized upon a loose pass at the back for Spain, but didn't take our chances, didn't score, and that proved to be decisive early on in the first half because Spain, they just know how to win. They are the world champions. They are the Nations League champions. They were looking to complete the set, as it were, and become European champions for the first time. I believe this was actually the first time that Spain have ever made it to a European Championship final as well. They've only really been a force in women's European football and women's world football, for that matter, for a relatively short period of time. But like I said, they know how to win, they know how to get goals, and it was a really well-worked goal that ended up putting them ahead in the first half. I think it was Caldente who got the opening one for Spain. A good header from her to put it into the net of Hannah Hampton. Hampton had no chance with that one, unfortunately. But second half, Russo did something pretty similar. Now, of course, Chloe Kelly is someone who has been an impact substitution for England throughout this tournament, usually coming on pretty late on in the second half and really changing the game around, specifically as well, especially, I should say, against Sweden in the quarterfinal. She really made a difference there. But she was introduced into this one a lot earlier than normal. James ended up pulling up with an injury. There were doubts about her being fully fit for this game or not, and unfortunately it proved that she was not fully fit as it was to complete anything like 90 minutes. She didn't even make it to 45, so Kelly came on, and again, she changed things. She changed things in the second half, floated a beautiful ball in for Alessio Russo just to cushion it, just to nod it into the top corner of the net. 1-1, it was level. England and Spain both having chances to win it in both the rest of the second half and also in extra time as well. Hannah Hampton producing some fantastic saves. I must admit, I was a bit doubtful coming into this tournament about Hampton because it's like, what's she going to be like? Is she going to be as good as Mary Earps? Is she going to be an upgrade on her? Is she going to be a downgrade? If anything, maybe an upgrade. She's been brilliant. She's been absolutely fantastic as the Chelsea goalkeeper. Brilliant stuff from her. Some great saves again in this one, and also in the ensuing penalty shootout after the end of extra time, because it finished 1-1 after extra time. We went to penalties, and through misses and through saves, Spain only managed to score 1 penalty in the entire shootout. Again, England coming from behind effectively, 1-0 down in the penalty shootout, and they won it 3-1. Fantastic stuff by them. And of course, Chloe Kelly. Of course it was Chloe Kelly. It had to be her. Her unusual penalty routine of spinning the ball back a few times, a hop, skip and a jump. Doesn't matter though, put it in the net. Unlike against Italy, she didn't need a rebound this time. The rebound obviously not available to her in a penalty shootout, but she put the ball in the net. Brilliant stuff. England European champions for the second time, and we have to go into the next World Cup, which should be 2027 if I'm not mistaken, as the favourites for the tournament to become world champions for the first time. That's the one thing we're missing. We don't care about the Nations League, and if we win that, great, you know, won't turn it down, but world champions. England women have never been world champions. That's something the men have managed to do, but the women have managed to do something that no England team has done before. No senior England team, male or female, that is. And that is win a major tournament on foreign soil. Of course, the men did it in 66 in England. Of course, the women did it last time out in 2022. It was Euro 21, I believe, but they played it in 22, if I'm not mistaken, because of the pandemic and delays. That was also in England. This time, they've managed to do it on foreign soil. Fantastic. They've done something that nobody's ever done before. England also, for the first time, defending a major tournament. Never done that before, men or women. So yeah, brilliant stuff. I'm not counting under 21s before anybody in the comments mouths off about that. Before anybody says it. Oh, actually, the under 17s defended it in 1922. You know, I'm sure someone will probably point that out. But yeah, brilliant stuff. You know, so happy for Chloe Kelly as well. Someone who was very much written off by some uninformed sections of the press who just love clicks and all that. You know, she very much proved them wrong, and she said so much in a press conference after the game as well. So yeah, very happy, very proud to be English. Great to see. Hopefully the men can win the World Cup in a year's time. I'm being reasonable here. Men will win the World Cup next year, and the women will win the World Cup in 27. I'm not getting carried away at all. Something I have to mention, though. I mean, there was a lot of talk about this in the build-up. You know, a lot of people, I'm sure, will be feeling very sorry for Spain. I don't personally, but I'm sure some people will be feeling very sorry for Spain, because obviously what happened at the World Cup a good few years ago, that was horrible. What happened after that, they weren't really able to celebrate their World Cup victory like they should have been able to. You know, the whole Rubiales scandal and everything, and the man rightfully getting done for sexual assault for what he did. You know, I'm sad in that regard for them, but also because England have won. I don't really care personally, but I'm sure a lot of people will be feeling sorry for Spain because of that. But yeah, in the end, unlucky. They were not as good as penalties, as it turns out. England having a bit more practice with that in that regard when it comes to getting that victory over Sweden. We've very much improved on our penalties after that. I think the ladies very much would have been practicing them relentlessly after how poor they were against Sweden. But they got through and they won the final. Brilliant stuff. Your thoughts in the comments below, guys. Did you watch the game? What did you think of it? I want to hear what you have to say as always. Like, share, comment, subscribe as always. And also shout out to Lucy Bronze. She was playing this entire tournament, as it turns out, with a broken tibia or a damaged bone in her foot, I believe, or a damaged bone somewhere anyway. So fair play to her for actually getting through the whole tournament, you know. Absolute Iron Lady managing to do that. But yeah, see you soon, guys. Have a great day. And if you're an England fan, let's celebrate. Enjoy it.